There is a deep truth that challenges the way we usually think, a truth that wise people across every era have quietly shared. It's a paradox that carries the secret to a kind of vitality that doesn't fade. And that truth is this: a young soul does not fear death. It doesn't fear it because, on some instinctive level, it understands that death isn't an ending or a disappearance. It's a transformation, a simple and sacred shift in form. We live in a culture obsessed with fighting time. We spend money, energy, and attention trying to hide its marks. We fear every wrinkle, every gray hair, every passing year, as if they were losses in a battle we're doomed to lose. We fight against the natural flow of life. We hold on to physical youth with everything we've got, not realizing that this very resistance is what ages us. And here is where the paradox becomes clear. The person who accepts the passage of time, who makes peace with impermanence, is the one who stays truly young in energy, because this soul no longer pours its life force into resisting what can't be stopped. Instead, it channels that energy into the only thing that truly matters, living fully, moment by moment. True youth isn't a frozen image or a perfect snapshot in time. It's movement, a constant flow, like a river that is never the same, yet always alive and full of motion. It's like the natural cycle we witness every year. Leaves fall in autumn not as a tragedy, but as a quiet promise that spring will return. From this point of view, aging isn't about collecting years. Real aging is rigidity, stagnation. The energy that stops flowing because it's trapped in fear, in clinging to the past, or in anxiety about the future. In this video, we'll explore this sacred paradox. We'll look at the wisdom of Taoist masters and their art of moving with life instead of against it. We'll talk about vital energy, chi or prana, and how our fear of death blocks its flow. And most importantly, we'll share timeless practices that help you cultivate a young soul, learning to dance with time instead of fighting it. You'll see that the true fountain of youth isn't found in resistance, but in saying yes to life. The secret to energy that doesn't age lies in a simple paradox. Youth isn't found in tension, but in acceptance. Deep down, real youth isn't a property of the body. It's a quality of the soul that knows how to flow. It belongs to those who don't cling. It belongs to those who understand. Deeply, not just mentally. That everything born and everything lost is simply shifting form. An old soul can live in a young body, a rigid soul locked in the past, refusing change. A young soul can shine through an old body, a flexible soul that welcomes each experience as a chance to transform. This idea is at the heart of ancient Taoist philosophy. The sages observed nature and saw that the oldest, strongest trees weren't the ones that stood stiff, but the ones flexible enough to bend with the wind. Water, the most powerful force on earth, doesn't dominate by force, but by adapting and flowing around what stands in its way. They called this quality Wu Wei. Wu Wei isn't passivity or doing nothing. It's the art of effortless action. Moving with the current of life instead of pushing against it. The sage stays energetically young because they practice Wu Wei. They become dancers of existence, not fighters. The fighter drains themselves, breaks, and ages in the struggle. The dancer moves with the rhythm of the universe, saving their energy and finding grace in every step. Energetically speaking, every time we cling to the past, to a memory, a hurt, or an old version of ourselves, we create an anchor that stops the flow of life force. Every time we fear the future, illness, loss, uncertainty, we build a dam that blocks the energy that wants to move forward. This friction, this constant inner battle with time, is what actually ages us. It shows up physically: a tight jaw, stiff shoulders, a heavy feeling in the gut. These are micro-reactions of resistance that, over the years, carve themselves into the body. Acceptance, on the other hand, is the root of renewal. When we accept the present moment as it is, without fighting it, it's like releasing a breath we didn't know we had been holding for years. We free all the energy we once spent resisting, and that energy becomes available again for healing, restoring, and revitalizing our mind and body. We stop being a stagnant pool and become a moving river once more. And a river that flows is always young, always fresh, always alive. That's why the teaching of the masters is simple. Resistance ages, flow rejuvenates. This flow, the current of life that keeps the spirit young, is not just poetic language. It's a real, tangible force that ancient cultures around the world recognized, nurtured, and protected with devotion. In China, it was called Qi. In India, the rishis called it Prana. In Japan, it became known as Ki. The names are different, but the essence is the same everywhere. It is the breath of life, the inner river that animates us and fuels our vitality. From this perspective, our health, energy, and youthfulness depend entirely on how freely this inner current can move. When Qi or Prana flows freely and abundantly through the body's meridians and subtle channels, we enter a state of ongoing renewal. We feel alive, clear-minded, and energized. Our body heals faster, and our spirit stays curious and open. We become like a strong, wide, crystal-clear river. But when that flow gets blocked, real aging begins. Not just physical aging, but energetic aging. And what builds the dams in this inner river? The ancient masters were direct: fear, resentment, attachment, and one of the most overlooked toxins of all. Living a soulless routine, living on autopilot, repeating the same patterns without awareness or intention, is one of the fastest ways to stagnate energy. These blockages act like dams holding back water, creating pockets of stagnant energy that eventually show up as illness, fatigue, or mental and physical rigidity. This vital energy isn't nourished mainly by what we eat, but by how we live. Chai is pure intelligence, and it naturally moves toward three essential qualities: presence, love, and movement. It flows toward the present moment. When we're fully engaged in what we're doing, we open the gates. It flows toward the coherence of the heart. Feelings like compassion, connection, and gratitude create a magnetic field that attracts and strengthens this life force, and it flows toward movement. Not just working out, but breaking routines, learning new things, and shifting our perspective. In the end, everything returns to two basic energetic movements: contraction and expansion. The person who lives in fear contracts. Their muscles tighten, their breath gets shallow, their heart closes, and the inner river becomes a thin stream. The person who breathes with gratitude expands. The body softens, the breath deepens, the spirit opens, and the inner river flows again with the power of life itself. Once we understand that the free flow of vital energy is the key to a young soul, the question becomes practical. How do we keep our inner river clear and moving in the middle of a busy life? Ancestral wisdom doesn't stop at philosophy. It gives us simple, direct, and profoundly effective tools. Today, we'll explore three of its most precious practices. 3 jewels that require nothing but your awareness and your body. The first and most essential jewel is conscious breathing. We often forget that breath is the bridge between the visible and invisible worlds. The sages taught that every breath is a meditation on life itself. Each inhale is a birth. Each exhale is a small death. Practicing this means embracing the great cycle in every moment. Set aside a few minutes each day to feel it. Inhale deeply from your belly, imagining you're drawing fresh prana from the universe. Then exhale slowly, longer than the inhale. And let go of the past, the tension, the worries. Deep breathing is the fastest way to cleanse your energetic field and feed the soul directly. The second jewel is to move your energy daily. The ancients understood this well. Movement is life. Fearful stillness is aging. They didn't mean the peaceful stillness of meditation, but the rigid stillness that comes from fear and routine. So make a promise to move your body with intention. Dance in your living room as if nobody's watching and let your energy express itself. Walk through a park and really feel your feet touching the earth. Practice yoga or Tai Chi. Ancient arts created specifically to help Qi flow. Or simply stretch every morning with love, not as a task, but as a way of honoring the body you live in. The third jewel is reconnecting with nature. Modern life, spent inside concrete walls and rubber soles, has separated us from our most primal source of energy. The earth is a massive, living battery that recharges the spirit. The ancients knew this, which is why their ceremonies were always rooted in nature. The practice is simple. Touch the ground with your bare feet to release excess static energy and absorb the earth's charge. Look at the sky to remember the vastness you're part of. Feel the wind or rain on your skin. These aren't poetic gestures. They're energetic recalibrations. They remind your entire body that you are still part of the natural world and the great cycle of life. These three jewels, breath, movement, and nature, are what keep our inner river alive. But there's a deeper mindset underneath them. Without it, even these practices can become rigid. That mindset is the wisdom of non-attachment. It's perhaps the most subtle yet most powerful secret for keeping the soul young. The ancient masters explained it with a simple image. The person who fears death clings, and attachment stops the flow of energy, just like water that becomes stagnant and begins to decay. Attachment is the hand trying to grab the water of a river. It's impossible. And trying only creates tension and frustration. We cling to our possessions, our relationships, our identities, our beliefs. And above all, we cling to the idea of a fixed, permanent me. Every attachment becomes an energetic anchor, holding us in place and blocking life, which is pure movement. From passing through us, stagnant water decays, and stagnant energy ages the soul. The masters, however, offer a radical and liberating alternative. The one who accepts death learns how to dance with life. Accepting death doesn't mean being gloomy or giving up. It means understanding the impermanent nature of everything. It means seeing that every moment is born and dies, that every experience comes and goes, and that every version of who we are must die so a new version can emerge. Living this way is stepping into a dance with existence itself. It's no longer being a rigid object life crashes into, but becoming the flow that moves with everything. It's learning to greet life fully and let go with the same fullness, knowing that every ending simply makes space for a beginning. In this sacred dance with impermanence, Qi constantly renews itself. There is no room for stagnation because there is nothing left to cling to. The soul, freed from the weight of the past and the anxious grasping for the future, expands, and life, which once seemed like a straight, finite line from birth to death, reveals itself as it really is, an eternal present, an infinite instant that keeps renewing itself. Life becomes eternal, not because it literally never ends, but because it's lived with full presence in the one place it actually exists. Right now, we arrive at the end of our journey, and at the threshold of a new way of living. The wisdom of a young soul isn't a complex philosophy. It's something lived through the body, a way of moving through the world with fresh awareness. It's an invitation to turn even your simplest actions into deep practices. So starting today, breathe as if every breath were both your first and your last. With each inhale, feel the wonder of life entering you, the freshness of this exact moment. With each exhale, practice letting go without fear, releasing the moment that has already passed. Within each cycle of breath lies the whole teaching of birth and death. Walk knowing the earth is supporting you, not something you dominate. Feel your feet touching the ground as an act of connection, a reminder that you are part of a much larger living system. You are not a conqueror of life. You are a participant in its dance. This humility roots you in the present and dissolves the ego that clings and resists. Look up at the sky and remember that you belong to the same cycle as the stars, to be born, to shine, to transform. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are an expression of it. The same energy that ignites distant suns is the energy that beats within your heart. When you recognize this connection, the fear of your own mortality softens into the vastness of an existence that is always transforming, never truly ending. And here is the final revelation. The eternal youth we chase has nothing to do with never aging or never changing. That fantasy is born from fear. True eternal youth, the youth of the soul, comes from dying and being reborn many times within a single lifetime. It is an alchemical process of continuous renewal, because only what allows itself to die can be reborn. Dying to old beliefs that no longer help us. Dying to the wounds that keep us stuck. Dying to the version of ourselves that has grown rigid, afraid, or predictable. Each of these small inner deaths, these acts of release, are acts of courage that create the open, fertile space where new life can grow. Vitality cannot flourish in soil crowded with what is old. It needs space to emerge.